In this video, I want to talk about a rather delicious way of increasing your happiness and satisfaction with your life. Hi, my name's Christine L. Conroy. Welcome to Happy Stuff and Fluff, a channel for women over 50 who are getting happy and growing younger. If this is your first visit to the channel, please consider subscribing. Remember to hit the little bell so that you are notified when a new video comes along. We talk about everything on this channel, everything that is going to help to increase the happiness of us women over 50. So it'd be great to have you join us. Okay, so today's video, I could have entitled it, "The more often people eat with others, the more likely they are to feel happy and satisfied with their lives." Now, this is a great subject for me to talk about because I love food and I love eating. I particularly love eating out. But that's not quite what this study's talking about, but I'll just want to talk about my experience of this with you. So when my kids were small, first of all, or when they were at school, you may have experienced this yourself. I have two boys and a girl, of course, all grown up now. But when they were at school, they'd come home from school and I would say to the boys, "Have you had a good day?" And they would say, "Yep." "Okay." And I'd say, "What did you do today?" And they'd say, "Nothing." And then they'd be off doing the next thing or on to the next thing. Charlotte was a little bit different, but, you know, she'd then be on the phone to her friends and so on. So we very rarely got an awful lot out of them, except for when we sat down to eat together. And we used to insist on this. But, you know, like any other family, we were the same. If you've got 3 kids, your diary's packed with, the eldest needs to be here on that day, the other one needs to be there on that day, they're swimming, they're acting, they're doing all these things, ballet classes, and so on, during the week. And Mr. Kitchen used to work at night too, but he always came home between 5 and 7 so that we could have that time together as a family, and that's what we did. However, I always felt that at home, although it was good, there were always other distractions. So neighbours calling round, friends, the kids' friends, telephone ringing, all of those kind of things. So I used to enjoy it better when we went out to restaurants to eat, because then we would all be focused on each other. And believe me, we learned more about our children on those nights out, just in one night out, than we would all week. We'd learn about their lives and what they'd been doing. And so I've always advocated families sitting down to eat together. I do know it's not always possible. As I say, I know people lead busy lives, but I would schedule into your diaries eating time together at least 3 times a week. Now, obviously, I'm now talking about my kids, and that was a long time ago. And now I see my eldest, who has 2 boys, introducing the same kind of ideas there. Talking about young people eating with their parents, the research is absolutely overflowing in terms of explaining the benefits to children of sitting and eating with their parents. You know, weird things that you wouldn't think of. I read one study that talked about the fact that children who ate with their families regularly are less likely to use substance abuse. I don't know the truth to that. It's just something I read. They perform better at school. All kinds of things, not least, you know, getting on well with their families. So that's worth talking to your kids about or talking to your grandchildren about. This study done by, and his name escapes me, Professor Dunbar from Oxford University, when he says the more often people eat with others, the more likely they are to feel happy and satisfied with their lives, he's not talking about children eating with their parents, he's talking about all of us. And what struck me particularly was he says, as a result of this study, they discovered that those people over the age of 55 are the most likely to eat alone. Now, clearly, given that I've just said the more often people eat with others, the more likely they are to feel happy and satisfied, this is a concern, because obviously us guys on this channel are all over the age of 50, which means that most of you are likely to be the ones who eat alone. And this is why I brought up this study and why I wanted to talk to you about it. So, if that is you, or even if it isn't, then I just want to say to you, eat out more often with people, with your friends, with your family. I know not everyone can afford to go eating out in restaurants. You could go and have a coffee with someone during the daytime. You could invite them to your home. And even if you don't cook, even I can put a sandwich together or buy a scone and have coffee and tea with someone and eat food together. It's just lovely. And if you're watching your weight, eat some lettuce together, or you can find a way of doing this. But certainly eating out. And this whole conversation really started with, we were dining out with some friends at the weekend. They actually own a restaurant, but we were out eating together. And what brought the conversation up was, of course, on practically every table around us, there were people on their phones. There were 3 young women, actually, clearly come out together as friends, all 3 of them on their phone to other friends who weren't with them. And I just thought, if you're going to eat out together, then you've got to focus your attention on each other. So if that happens at your place where you go out to eat and people are on their phone, I would suggest that maybe they put their phones away just for the time they're with you, so that you can enjoy your time together and do a little bit of social bonding. So I want to know what you think. I want to know, just let me give you these statistics. So apparently in the UK, the average adult eats 10 out of 21 meals alone every week. Okay. Of those questioned, 70% of them had never shared food with their neighbours, and 25% said that it had been more than 6 months since they shared food with their parents. Okay, now those are UK statistics, but it wouldn't surprise me, if it isn't the same in the US. There was a weird thing from the US. Apparently, the average American eats 1 in every 5 of their meals in the car. I don't know about that. If you're from the US, you tell me in the comments box. Is this something that people tend to do in the States? Maybe eat on the fly is what it means, I guess. Grab a sandwich and sit in the car eating on your way to somewhere or something like that. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you spend your time eating alone a lot. Let me know if you insisted also that your kids sit and eat round the table, and if you're passing that on to your grandchildren. I'd be really interested to know. But for now, you have my permission to go and dine out at least twice a week, even if it's just for a sandwich in a cafe. But do it with someone else. If you live on your own and your family are a distance away, then go out to eat by yourself. I love doing this. This is one of my pleasures. I must admit, during the daytime, I have been out to dine. I have been out for dinner by myself a few times, and the first time takes a little bit of courage, but after that it's quite enjoyable. But you could do it during the daytime. Just go out and eat 2 or 3 of your meals somewhere else, because then, if it's buzzing with people, you get to pass the time of day with the person serving you, and it just gives you that little bit of contact, of human contact and social bonding. Okay, please let me know what you think. As always, I love reading your comments and I answer them all. Okay, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you, and until the next time, remember that on the Happy Stuff and Fluff, we are getting happy and growing younger. See you next time. Bye-bye.